What's up, my bearded people?
All right, so something very different than what we've done in the past with all of our other videos. We're going to react or give our impressions of basically the 2022 Silverado reveal. I'm a huge car person myself, so I love vehicles. I'm a petrol head, so I know a lot about vehicles. Alex here knows his fair amount too, but
I'm more of your layman's type car enthusiast. I like the cars, and I know the surface level information about them, but if you told me it's a 6-cylinder, however many foot-pound of torque, you're just talking a different language to me, so...
Yeah, if I told you it was a 15-liter, 7-cylinder...
I only drank 2 liters, so I don't know what you're talking about. But just also to give this a little bit more context, we are both going to be looking at buying trucks in the next 6 months, probably. So we've been keeping a close eye on this, as well as the GMC Sierra release that's coming up. So what we want to have some nice comparison, and this will give us a chance to air out our thoughts as well.
Yeah, he's a little bit more of a Ford guy. I am a little more of a GM person myself. I have an older GM truck already that's been in the family a long time. But let's see what we think about the release of the new truck.
Let's do it.
What does every truck video begin with?
One of the reasons I love this business, we're always on the move. The future of mobility, the truck market, the technology, the customers' wants and needs. They're all evolving constantly, and so are we. We never stop looking ahead to offer every customer a truck with the look, features, and price point they need. In 2019, we introduced an all-new Silverado 1500 lineup with an expansive range of trim levels and equipment options. Since then, we've added special editions, greater towing capacity, an efficient 3.0-liter diesel engine, Silverado's first ever available multi-flex tailgate, and a
the tailgate is cool.
Yeah.
The tailgate is awesome.
We've seen that implemented in some... I know I've seen it in, last year's King Ranch models from Ford. I know they had a tailgate like that.
They have one where there's a step that comes out of it. It doesn't do all the stuff that the GM tailgate can do, where it has the flaps and does a bunch of other stuff, but it's a really cool tailgate.
I'd be interested to see if this one has... One of the things I liked about the Fords from last year was they had the... that extra generator basically in the side where you could charge.
The power
the power bank basically.
Suite of towing technology enhancements. And we're continuing to refresh our lineup and innovate based on the changing needs of today's truck customers. We're going to show you Silverado's latest updates today.
All right. Actually, a good portion to stop. So this is going to be the new face, clearly, of the new trucks. They just showed the old ones, so we got to see what they looked like, and now we get to see what the new ones look like. My immediate first impression is the High Country looks significantly better from the front end than the LT. What are your thoughts?
I agree, but I'm not necessarily a fan of either one of them compared to what I'm used to from Chevy.
Okay. You're thinking like older style Chevy, or just, what do you mean?
I mean, I like the 2013 to 17, I guess, type body.
You like the ones that look like my old truck. My truck is a 96 Silverado, and
it has a more classic look to it, a little bit more classic lines to it. I'm sure that there are aerodynamic reasons and scientific reasons why they've made the bodies and the front of it specifically look like this. But
one thing that for these folks here that is really interesting. So these right here are the new air curtain things. So what most of your manufacturers are going to is they're hiding the air curtains.
Right here?
Basically. Yeah. So they're on the edge. It basically allows air to travel over the wheels and helps with aerodynamics. So yes, the design is definitely probably more aerodynamic focused. For me, the LT, I don't like how the chrome just sort of stops.
Yeah.
Part of the way down.
It's just like a bar.
Yeah, I wish they had just continued with like another bar or something there. It probably would have made it look better. The High Country, though, immediately looks really good.
See, when I look at these, I just think Dodge. I think Dodge Ram. And that's maybe what I'm not liking about it, because I'm not a big fan of the way the Dodge Rams look from the front.
Yeah.
They look kind of round and kind of pudgy. Who am I to be speaking about pudgy? But, just in a truck. I mean, and let's be clear, this is probably a truck that I'm looking at purchasing. And I'm not purchasing it for what it looks like on the outside necessarily.
Yeah, and also you are correct that Dodge was the first manufacturer to introduce the rounded front end on a pickup truck. So Chevy and Ford definitely stuck with the squared front end longer than Dodge did. Yeah. So that is something that a lot of people do think of. So, but let's continue on.
The 22 Silverado has an enhanced exterior, a gutsy new version of the 2.7-liter turbo engine, and a new interior with some very exciting technology,
that is
including
huge
available
difference.
Super Cruise hands-free driver assistance technology.
So, do you know what Super Cruise is?
Well, it's the advanced cruise control. It's supposed to be basically self-driving.
Yes, so it is a self-driving technology. I'm not going to say it's the only one. Tesla does offer, of course, some self-driving technology. It's not called Super Cruise. You can get arguments out there from a bunch of different people on the level of self-drivingness. But
that's what I was going to say. I'm interested to see if this is to that level. I mean, because Tesla basically just advertises you don't have to drive this car.
Yes, so with this one, it's not everywhere. I do know that because I'm going to base it, and I'm sure they're going to get into it probably a little bit more. But basically, it's not self-driving everywhere. They have mapped the interstates and your very popular roads, and it can drive itself down those roads.
Makes sense.
So the interior looks fantastic, but we'll wait till probably they're going to talk about that a little bit later, I'm sure more.
And in the spirit of a truck for every customer, we're adding to our highly successful lineup of factory lifted trucks, bringing our total lifted pickup truck trim options to 3. Currently, Chevrolet offers 2 factory lifted trucks, the Custom Trail Boss and the LT Trail Boss. Yep. These trucks, along with our popular Z71 off-road package, cater to the growing consumer interest in lifted and off-road capable trucks at an affordable price point.
2 things. First, these visibly look more enticing to me.
Yeah.
I know these are not trucks that I'm in the market for, though.
Personally. Yeah, this is the outgoing style that they're showing, of course, right now. What's really funny or interesting to me is when these trucks were released, the ones they're showing right now, the outgoing one now, they were not well received. But I feel like as time has gone on, people saw them in the flesh, they did look better. So part of me is hoping that with the newer design, I like the High Country personally. I don't care for the LT, but I'm hoping as it's something that you see in person or whoever it would be seeing in person, something that would grow on people. So probably something that looks better in the flesh than it does in these videos. So.
In fact, Trail Boss makes up almost 30% of our sales mix, while Z71 represents 30% more of our sales. This means that almost 60% of our sales are off-road capable trucks.
Excellent.
And the Custom and LT Trail Boss rank amongst the highest in attracting new and younger buyers to Chevrolet.
Because they're cheaper models.
Yeah, the Custom is for sure, and the LT
and
is too.
And it's because of that popularity that we're adding to our factory-lifted trucks as part of our overall truck strategy. Plus, we've had so much success with Colorado ZR2 at the dealerships and on the racing circuit, we decided to build on that legacy.
That is a dope camera right there.
Colorado looks bigger than the Colorados of the past.
It is. The Colorado definitely is a mid-sized truck. I mean, if you think back to what older Colorados were, they were mid-sized, small.
It looks like they've squared it out some too. The last Colorados were just very, very round.
Yeah.
They almost look like toys.
Yeah. Now, that was a ZR2 they were showing, so it looks pretty beefy and buff, you know, which I'm sure what they're about to show here, the ZR2 Silverado is. I already see a nice little 6.2-liter badge on there.
It's a good-looking truck.
Yeah.
Enter the 2022 Silverado ZR2, Chevy's flagship off-road truck and the latest addition to our factory-lifted truck lineup.
I love the color of that truck. That is beautiful.
It's like Chevy blue.
Yeah.
Since 2019, we've been competing with a version of the Silverado ZR2 on some of the toughest desert courses in the country and leveraging what we've learned as we develop this new truck. Its off-road capabilities are truly confidence-inspiring. Our collaboration with Chad Hall Racing has been great, and we now have a portfolio of off-road trucks and motorsports parts and accessories developed on the track and available to customers looking for an authentic off-road experience. We have a philosophy when it comes to motorsports. Race what you sell, and sell what you race. The ZR2 race truck.
That's similar to, I believe, the old saying of race it on Sunday and buy it on Monday. Basically, what you had found in the 60s where you would see the race car on the track on Sunday on the NASCAR race and then could go into the dealership on Monday and buy the car, basically, or the car. So
it makes sense.
Yeah. No, it also, probably from a developmental standpoint for GM, it probably saves a lot of money, but it also really tests the product out heavily. I mean, they're going to beat the crap out of these things, basically, and find out what breaks first. What's the weak link and let's replace it. So, one thing I will say, looking at the ZR2, I know that bumper is probably like that to help with off-roading. I don't like how it has the little notch outs on the side. It just doesn't look right to me, but I know that it's there for off-roading. It's one of those things, visually it's sort of weird, but I know functionality-wise it's probably a huge plus.
It's probably also a little bit more augmented from this angle. We're looking up as it's pointing up.
That's a good point, too. Yeah. Let's see what they have more to say about this truck.
And the production ZR2 share most major chassis and drivetrain components, including the frame, transmission, transfer case, and of course, Chevy's legendary 6.2-liter V8 engine. As a trail runner or a rock crawler, this truck is fantastic. But ZR2 is not just a one-trick pony. After a full weekend off-roading, our customers can go to work or take their kids to school on Monday in comfort. This truck handles off-road driving confidently without sacrificing on-road handling or trailering capability. This combination of off-road performance, refined styling, and truck utility makes Silverado ZR2 a truly unique offering.
Jump the truck.
It's visually the best of the three for me.
Yeah. If it didn't have the bumper like that, I think for myself it might be. I love the color. The blue is just beautiful. That blue color makes you overlook so much. Yeah, that's about it.
Its lines just look a little bit better to me.
This ZR2 is impressive. We changed the ZR2 proportions to account for the tough off-road conditions. The front bumper design helps us increase the angle of approach to 31 degrees. Larger tires gave us an improvement in departure angle and more ground clearance. We increased the wheel travel in both the front and rear to really give this vehicle the freedom to accommodate rough ground. Add in the larger skid plates, and you have the confidence to travel over a variety of terrains. The ZR2 is the second truck in the Chevrolet lineup to feature the multi-mag DSSV dampers. They use full valves, which are tuned to provide optimal shock control in all driving conditions. For the Silverado ZR2, we involved the damping system specifically for a full-size truck platform. Silverado ZR2 features a unique terrain mode with two...
So they were talking about the shocks there, and shocks, of course, help with a lot of different things on off-road. So dampening it so you don't feel like you're beating the crap out of yourself.
And you don't go flying through the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Like on older vehicles, you're not going to go end up through the sunroof in the bed of the truck when you hit a bump. Theirs, I have heard, is really good and is really advanced, and that's something that's coming from the ZR2 from the Colorado, that multi-dampener. So I would imagine that it will make a massive difference off-road for handling rough terrain. Everything I'm hearing so far, though, with this is not, in my opinion, what I'm hearing is not going to compete with a Raptor or the TRX. It doesn't sound like it's something that's meant to blast down sandy dunes or something like that. To me, this sounds like this is meant for a little bit of a slower speed going off the road somewhere is what I'm hearing from this so far.
Yeah, it almost seems like they're making the truck a little bit heavier, too, with that extended skid plate, like they said on the bottom, and a little bit more of the... safe, I guess, safety features for the thing that we don't like on the front.
Yeah, well, the armor underneath is normal for your off-road trucks because the last thing you want is a rock to go through your oil pan and cook your engine basically for you, or, you know. But yeah, to me it seems like they're going more for people that want to do trails than want to do Baja, you know, off-road.
This is for like someone who wants to go camping.
Yes, and that's actually interesting that Chevy has gone this, or GM has gone this route with this truck. A little bit different. It doesn't seem like they're trying to go after fully the Ford and TRX people. They're after the people that are like, I want to go camping. I want to go take a trail that's a little more difficult. I'm really curious to see if they're going to put any, like, what they're going to do. Obviously, suspension-wise with the dampeners and things of that nature, that really helps. But what they're going to do for, if they're going to put a locker in this thing, which maybe they're going to get into that, I don't know.
It definitely seems like it's made for a younger demographic than the other two trucks.
Well, and as they said, they're picking up a younger demographic, and this shows.
Exactly.
Transfer case.
Not saying that only younger people are going to buy this truck, but sure.
Hills, but what's really awesome is using it in 4-low for rock crawling.
Yeah, slower, more technical trail.
With one pedal driving, as soon as the driver backs off the gas pedal, the vehicle actively begins to slow down. When
That's interesting.
When the vehicle's in 4-low, one pedal driving will cause the vehicle to slow to a complete stop when the driver
That's
gets
totally
the
different.
gas. This feature can turn a highly technical and complicated event into a confident control maneuver. The Silverado ZR2 features electronic locking differentials on both the front and rear wheels.
Wow.
If one of the wheels is unable to get...
All right, so that's actually huge. I figured they would do a rear locker, but they're doing a front locker. Do you understand what that means?
Nope.
All right. So a little bit of technical thing just to help him out, and for those that don't know what it means
Tell the folks.
Yeah, well, I'll tell y'all. So obviously, as you're driving up a slippery slope of any sand, dirt, rocks, whatever it is, if one wheel begins to spin, it sends all the power to that one wheel that's spinning. Basically, your left wheel, let's say it's the front right wheel that's spinning, left wheel does nothing.
Right.
So by having a locker, it connects the two wheels and makes them spin together. So now that loose wheel spins at the same rate, but the left wheel is going to move.
Right.
So
makes that axle turn at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Huge advantage over rock crawling, going up like more mud or something that's a little bit steep.
Something very uneven.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really big advantage. I am sitting here, and y'all can correct me in the comments below, but from a 1500 level truck, I don't think there's anyone that offers a front locking, like you can control it and lock it. There might be something where it will like move power from one wheel or to the other, but normally that means like it's putting a brake on to the wheel that's spinning. It's not actually, the wheels are not connected to it.
You probably get more of that in actual like off-roading brands like Jeep or something like that.
Yeah, no, Wrangler would have something like that. Yeah. Rubicon I know does. Land Cruiser has that. It's a really rare thing.
It's very specific for off-roading.
Yeah. It sort of, to me, feeds into the fact that this is not going to be a Baja runner. It also doesn't, if it's a 6.2, that's probably 420, 460 unless they bumped it with power. In your Raptors and your TRX, that's 700 and some horsepower. So you're not big horsepower flying over sand, basically, with this.
This seems like it would be a good farm truck as well.
This will probably be overkill for a farm truck, but yes.
Well, it depends on where you are. Like where my family farms is kind of a very sandy area, and it bogs down, and water washes places out pretty constantly.
Yeah, so if you want to make sure you're never going to get stuck, yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of my thought there.
Yeah. And when you're moving at slower speeds like this and 4-low, you don't need huge horsepower.
Yeah.
So torque is actually what matters in that situation, and 460 is really good. So, all right, let's keep going. That's amazing, actually.
And rear E-lockers ensure that maximum power is put into all the wheels limiting slip.
They're going to explain it here, but no, actually, they really didn't explain it. That's surprising. Got to do the dramatic slide.
Forgot I got to go left.
Spent countless hours in studios and development labs, and out in the field with customers on highways, rural roads, and off-road trails. And it's the feedback we've received that inspired our rallying cry around the 22 Silverado: no compromises.
Y'all definitely had some compromises on the truck it's replacing, so that's good.
At the same time, elevate Silverado's design from the inside out. We've enhanced the design of the Silverado's exterior to give it a more premium look. Every trim features a new front fascia, which emphasizes the truck's stability and strength with a wide, planted stance. On LT trim and above, daytime running lamps have been programmed with unique animation sequences, and the available fog lamps have a new design that lends a contemporary look. We gave the truck a unique, bold front end. The front bumper has a cutaway design that gives the ZR2 a better
flow tie is
angle,
cool. That's from the
especially on
Camaro
corners.
ZR1. So.
The sculpted steel bumper and integrated skid plate prioritize durability and repairability.
I corrected myself.
A camera integrated into the grille helps the driver view the terrain on technical maneuvers. And the substantial wheel flares give the truck a rugged appearance while helping to protect the sheet metal from flying debris.
The big story is inside. We completely reimagined the interior on LT trims and above. We made them feel more spacious and more premium. The center.
That's actually a big win. LT. So with GM for the Silverado, you have basically your work truck, your custom, and then LT.
Yeah.
That's a big win. That on the LT is by far the most popular, and I know the most sold version of this truck. That you get this interior. I know that Dodge doesn't, I don't believe, offers it at that level equivalency.
It's always been just high country for Chevy.
Yeah, Chevy's never offered, actually. I don't think they've offered an upgraded interior for other than quality of the materials, but actually offering like a better dash.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Denali.
Yeah,
I feel like one of the two GM trucks has interior similar to this already.
Some of the SUVs do. So the SUVs do, the trucks right now don't. So this actually looks very similar, but I mean, obviously they show more of it. It's not vertical, this is horizontal, but Dodge has had the vertical huge screen for now since this revamp that really put GM and Ford behind the 8-ball on this. So they're playing catch up basically now. And
it's good that they did too, because GM and Ford are getting away with having very outdated interior designs.
Yeah, they got away with it. I know that I want to say some of them use excuses like, well, we did research and asked our customers and this is what they wanted. No, they got caught with their pants down. I'm sorry.
You didn't ask everyone.
Yeah, you didn't ask the right people then. This is a big deal, just even at a first glance. They're going to go into this more, but offering at the LT, GM is trying to make up for what they've done, and they're trying to offer this higher grade interior, or at least this massive screen, and what they're offering at a lower price point, and they're trying to clearly undercut Ford and Dodge.
And this is the bar going forward, so any Silverados that release going forward should have this at the LT level or higher.
Yeah, so that's actually a really big deal.
Our stack is canted toward the driver to make things more accessible. And we created a series of horizontal lines and float elements that added spacious and streamlined
behind the wheel.
The centerpiece of the new design is the 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Paired with the touchscreen is a 12.3-inch diagonal digital instrument cluster. Together, they provide almost panoramic access to all the vital vehicle information and infotainment options. We intentionally designed open source.
What do you think of the piano black? So by piano black, I mean the shiny black pieces that you see, like where it obviously the temperature gauge is, and then where the shifter is. Do you like that, or would you prefer like more wood color? Like,
I think it depends on the rest of the coloration in the interior.
Yeah.
If you had something brown, I probably wouldn't like the piano black. But if you had something, like you said, if it's black or black leather, maybe gray interior, I think it can work there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sort of mixed on that because I'm a little OCD. I like things clean. So fingerprints are probably going to show on that really badly, but also I imagine it's going to be shiny. So sun hits it, it may shine at you.
It won't get scratched as much as the like this tabletop. It's kind of what you would expect the rest of it to be made out of. It's not going to show scratches as well.
Yes. Yeah, and you're right. I think it's a give and a take. I think it does look more modern and it looks more upscale, which is what GM is trying to get. But
I'll take the attention to detail. If the execution in this one instance is a miss, they can take it back to the drawing board and fix it later.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a key component to anyone's decision-making process.
Yeah. Though I bet it is for some people.
Sure. I mean, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but you're right. It probably will be. One thing I also did notice, this does have wireless charging, even though I mean, maybe they're going to talk about it, but you can see how they have the phone there in the center, where GM has had it other times, it's up front. You have to reach for it. I like that it's right here by you. That's a better spot. That's awesome. That's a good decision. So
the shifter is interesting to me.
Yeah, no longer on the column. So obviously it's in the center. I'm assuming it's for the LT trims and above, since that's how they're pitching this interior design.
It looks almost like it's a click select more than it is a...
It's probably electronic. There's probably nothing physical really there. It's just a push a button and it just moves up, down, and that's how it selects the gear. It's not like my truck where it's on the column, drop her in.
Yeah, exactly.
Compartments in the console. That's one advantage to electronic shift, which is included on trucks with bucket seats.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. If it's a bench, you're not going to have
Our goal was to create a premium interior marked by materials that are easy to wipe down after a long day on the trail. And as an off-roader myself, I know how these trucks are used.
Are they trying to say they have a
ZR2 not only
Honda
looks like a great off-roader, it functions like
down?
one too. The Greystone soft trim, paired with a jet black environment and technical decor, communicating no nonsense, ready for
I love the
anything
words they
attitude.
used to describe
In the
this.
aggressive
Technical
side
decor.
bolsters, prominent shoulder pads, and unique seat patterns are a nod to the off-road performance the ZR2 is capable
Those are like
of.
comfortable seats.
The new Silverado interior is loaded with surprises that upgrade the customer experience. And nowhere is this more evident, perhaps, than in the Silverado High Country. As our most premium option, the High Country's console
show you all the stuff that you're going to really, really want, but it's going to cost you a lot of money to buy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I highly doubt there's any pricing, because I haven't seen anything about pricing. I'm sure it would be blasted all over the place. So
I've seen the MSRPs.
Okay.
I want to say High Country was at $55,000.
That's actually pretty good.
I wanted to say the base LT was in the 39 to 45 range, depending on your package.
It's expensive.
At that point, is the High Country and all of its bells and whistles worth $10,000?
It's amazing to think that a truck that's meant to go work on a farm or whatever it may be, now it's $55,000 as a.
And that's we paused once earlier, and I was like, I got two things, but then I forgot what it was. Price point she mentioned was one thing. She's like, price point to fit in everyone's budget, and I'm like, it's kind of like the government telling us what the poverty level is. Get a clue.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy because like the truck that I have, it literally has been in my family since it was new. It was one of the most expensive Silverados you could buy at the time, and I think it was $33,000
for that time. Really expensive.
Yeah, that was very expensive, and I mean it was loaded.
It's like a Corvette at that point.
Yeah.
Glove box and doors are trimmed with real open pore wood. The premium Bose performance speakers feature large stainless steel grills.
Oh, metal.
The unique
That's
wingtip
nice.
perforation runs the full length of the seat and into the leather on the console. It has a special touch of quality and craftsmanship. The embroidered headrest, the piping, and bold color options put the High Country in its own league.
The execution.
The new Chevy Silverado interior is designed around the user experience, including the ways our customers interact with technology. We want our customers to move from their lives into the Silverado and back to their lives seamlessly.
Move back to the lives seamlessly. All right. What you got? Come on, Chevy.
Humanized mobility means integrating technology intuitively, and I believe it is a huge differentiator for Silverado. Even before starting the vehicle, we thought about the experience. As soon as the customer gets behind the wheel, we bring light onto the display.
Ooh.
It's a much more beautiful and engaging experience than a static display. And it's a gentle and intuitive reminder that the technology is there working for the customer. We have one of the widest touchscreens in the truck market, and we offer a completely reconfigurable digital instrument cluster as standard on LT trim and above.
Yeah.
With Silverado, there's a cluster designed for everyone.
That is
available
cool,
on most trims. Chevy with Google built-in compatibility works alongside.
I don't feel like the dash thing is made it to trucks. I know it's in some like German sports cars for sure, and I'm sure there's American cars that have it too. And I don't feel like I've seen that in trucks yet, so that's neat.
The closest thing I've seen is I've seen a couple that have like tire pressure indicators that are a little bit more advanced, oil indicators that are advanced, and the range indicator. But other than that, like you said, we still get the needle and stuff in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure actually probably the digital gauges are probably cheaper or getting to the point that it's cheaper to probably put a digital gauge in there than it is to put a physical needle now.
Especially at that quantity.
Yeah. So that's impressive. All right. Obviously, they're about to talk about the infotainment system. So
Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. to offer a level of customization and flexibility that hasn't existed before. And customers can do more with voice commands, meaning hands stay on the wheel and eyes stay on the road. Great user experience design is an enabler to help customers do everything they want to do, whether it's navigating to a location, finding their favorite song or podcast, or hooking the truck up to a trailer. We look for creative and thoughtful ways to organize and scale all of that information so that it's useful for everyone.
Well, towing.
Trailer towing is often a difficult task. We worked hard to provide trailering features that are easy to use every step of the way. The system walks customers through the steps to connect a trailer, helping to ensure everything is connected and the lights and brakes work properly.
That's
The
nice.
system can also provide warnings if parts of the hitching process have gone wrong. On high country,
That's going to help people who also aren't the driver. Guy pulling down the highway, bump, and off comes the boat.
Yeah. That's gonna save a lot of people a lot of headaches and a lot of insurance claims. So that is a very big win. One thing I'm interested in, but it only showed it there briefly, the example they gave of not hooking up the trailer correctly was the trailer hitch wasn't in.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's going to be a sensor now. So one thing, that multi-pro tailgate, the thing that we were talking about earlier that flops down, there was people that always talked about, they were worried that if you had the top portion of it down and then put the tailgate down, it would go slamming into your trailer hitch. So you had to be mindful of it. I wonder now if it can sense a trailer hitch isn't in there. Can it be smart enough to know, I can't go all the way down with both things since there's a trailer hitch in here now.
Right.
I wonder if maybe GM finally did address that, but they already skimmed over that, so I'm assuming that they haven't.
The thought I have now is what they're about to talk about, the Super Cruise.
We also offer Super Cruise hands-free driver assistance technology, which comprehends the additional mass of the trailer, adjusting speed through curves
for the trailer,
following distance behind another vehicle. Trying to gauge the length of a trailer relative to car in the next lane can be tricky.
Whoa.
To help, we've enhanced side blind zone alert to account for the length
of
the trailer.
We'll let it finish this, but
Plus, our camera views are enhanced by the larger 13.4-inch diagonal screen. Safety is built into Silverado from the ground up. Chevy safety.
All right, so Super Cruise with the ability to pull the trailer.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
I'm wondering how broad that's going to be, or if it's going to have to be like, your trailer has to meet a certain. It can't go over this max.
Yeah, I wonder if there's
length.
something that you're going to have to tell the computer, like, hey, my trailer is 23 feet long. It's a boat. It's a travel trailer. It's enclosed trailer. Whatever. It's a good point. I wonder how much input, or is the truck is smart enough just to figure this out. But that's a big deal. So that can drive itself down the road. So my in-laws have a travel trailer. It's 33 feet long. And one thing they always talk about is that it is tiring after a certain period of time, always having to worry about this big trailer behind you. The truck driving itself while pulling the trailer, that takes that worry out of that. That's incredible, and I'm fairly certain nobody else has that.
If you have faith in it, it takes the worry out. If you don't, it adds some worry.
Do you have faith in the computer?
I mean, for the first year of technology, great idea.
Yeah.
Really interested to see how it plays. Now, without the trailer, I feel like it's going to go off without a hitch.
Yeah, Super Cruise itself has been without a hitch. What? Super Cruise has been around for a while, but the trailering obviously is new, and that's impressive. And for those not of the truck inclined, really, that is a big deal. If you are pulling anything a distance, that is a big deal, because you're pulling a boat from somewhere in Midland to an ocean. Now you don't have to worry about that. The truck is driving itself down the interstate by itself.
I can tell you right now, as a car owner, I'm probably not pulling up next to any 2022 Silverados that have a trailer, because I don't want that lane assist switching to just wipe me off the face of the earth.
Computer decides, I do not like this red car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, I mean, in theory, it's a really, really good idea, and like you said, should be a great relief for many people who do a lot of towing.
Yeah. I also like, it sounds like that they're making all these safety features, which honestly, GM, you should make these standard. They're safety features, keep people safe. But I'm glad that it sounds like they're making this option available to more levels than just what was you had to buy a higher end model. So
auto high beam sounds nice.
Is a suite of 6
standard active safety features available at all trims.
Yeah.
The 22 Silverado systems are capable of receiving updates over the air, keeping the truck fresh with the latest available technology long after it's driven off the dealership lot.
Great.
Under
so
the hood, we have news to share on the 2.7 liter turbo.
They can track you
it's
everywhere.
just one of a family of tried and true truck engines.
Wait.
But
all right, so this is the engines, and they're just skimming over some of this. So the 2.7's been around, the 5.3's been around, 5.3, 5.6. So they're all the same engines, but there's no output numbers right here, which is interesting. There is one thing that they like to slip through, though, and that is that diesel towing is now up to 13,300 pounds. Holy crap. That's a lot of weight.
Honestly, they're probably just tired of people getting mad at the low supply of diesel, so they're trying to sneak that through. They're trying to lower the hype on the diesel engines.
That's a big deal, actually. It doesn't matter what engine it is, but I know that competitively that's a higher number than any of the others. For a 1,500 truck, that's higher than everybody else right now. So that beats Ford, that beats Dodge. I think the Dodge is 12,500 for the diesel. What I'm curious about is whether or not that is in a crew cab with the short bed, or if that's like a two-door, which I don't think they offer the diesel in the two-door. So my assumption is it's at least an extended cab, and if that would go down based off of which truck you choose. So I would imagine it would, but that allows a lot of people that even 5 years ago that were buying a 2,500 truck to buy a 1,500 and pull.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
More flexibility.
Yeah, and you're also not pushing the truck to its limits constantly and all the time. So otherwise it looks like all the tried and true engines are around here, which depending on your preference and flavor, go with you want. I know that the diesel engine from GM has gotten a lot of good reviews and has been very popular, and it sounds like it's been very trouble-free except for maybe a minor issue here and there for a brand new engine that's really good. So gas engines, all the V8s are known to have some issues here and there. If y'all want to know more about that, let us know in the comments. We're fine talking about some of that stuff if that's what you want. But I'm interested to see, obviously, they're going to highlight the 2.7 because it's in the middle and big, bold, bright letters. And
that's going to be their high quantity one.
They haven't even gotten into this yet, and I can already tell you they're rolling out the middle finger to Ford right now. That is exactly what is about to happen right here.
Upgrades make it a leader in its own right.
Let's see if it is.
Especially if you're a fan of its key attribute.
Low-end torque. At an estimated 420 pound-feet, the 2.7 turbo sets
out of
the
a
bar
four-cylinder
than any base engine in its class.
I spent the majority of my career as a small block engineer, and I still work with V8s. I love the small block engine, and I was surprised at how much torque was available on this engine, especially so early in the RPM range. It's very exciting. Historically, a customer who tows a boat to the marina or pulls a camper or a race car to the track would default to a V8. Now our customers have a choice. They can have power, durability, and great efficiency.
What are your thoughts on it?
Hopefully it lasts.
Yeah. So turbo engines have come a long way. I will say that much. And what you're referring to is that turbos used to basically pop their head gaskets at times because of the pressures that they would put in the engine, or they could cause problems to cylinders, things of that nature. At this point in time, there's so many turbo engines out there, I think that's probably not the issue. Probably your big issue that you're going to run into is turbos have, let's just call it a shelf life. Basically, they're always spinning, they're always moving. At some point, they wear out and they have to be replaced. It's just a perishable part, unfortunately. They don't last forever, just like an engine. But their shelf life is, it depends on the model. I've heard 100,000 to some people got 200,000, which is a great range. You know, that's not like, oh, every 10,000 miles you're putting a new $1,000 turbo onto your engine. But
it's just when you ratchet up the size, when you ratchet up the power and you're keeping the size factor basically the same.
Yeah.
I wonder how sustainable that is 5 years down the road.
Yeah, Ford's been doing it for a while with their EcoBoost, so it's not something new to the marketplace. And unfortunately, because of
has that been done successfully?
The engines, to my knowledge, and what I've always heard and been told by folks that work for Ford as basically do maintenance on them, the engines do hold up. It's the turbos wear out, which is the normal stereotype for this entire marketplace that I've always been told and always read. So, and this is what I've been told and read. Don't, obviously do your own research and make your own educated opinions on this stuff. So
jump on in comments.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be people that don't agree with this, but this is what I've heard from a majority of people that have maintained and worked on vehicles for long periods of time, worked for the manufacturers. It's just a collective, mindset of just what I've always been told.
It's an industry generality.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's probably the best word for it. So now you're right. That's a lot of power, and it's just shocking to hear. But you got to remember, aftermarket also has done this sort of things to engines all the time.
Sure.
So, and they don't always do more than just flash an ECU, basically, in the computer. Tell the computer, I want you to put this much pressure into it now, basically, and create that power. So, I would say that probably it's not something to worry about, but it's something that, as you mentioned, it's something different. It's new.
It's the first of something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's unknown, and there is no real.
And in automotive, you just have to accept the fact that no matter how much you test it on a large scale with something this new, something unforeseen could happen with bulk of something.
I mean, the numbers on that are impressive.
Yes,
that is a massive win for GM. That is a kick, basically, to the Ford, the smaller EcoBoost, basically, 2.7. Doesn't touch the bigger EcoBoost.
As long as it holds up, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So,
in an engine that's half the size.
The 2.7 liters impressive torque is enabled by its strength and durability. And now it's even stronger.
Well, if we had waited 5 seconds, Alex.
And we've employed proven turbo diesel design techniques.
Okay, so they're taking diesel technology, basically.
We added a kilogram of aluminum to the block in the form of additional ribbing. And stiffening and strengthening the engine has allowed us to crank up the output and make it smoother and quieter at the same time.
Another enabler is our active thermal management technology that gives this engine targeted heating and cooling capabilities to ensure optimum engine temperature. Whether it's pulling a lot of weight or passing a big rig on the highway, the upgraded 2.7 liter engine does the job confidently.
We've re-engineered how the engine and transmission talk to one another. The downshifts are faster, much crisper, more precise.
I like how they put all the shiny stuff on the
All the recalibration and extra torque have resulted in faster 0 to 60 times. The 2.7 turbo is stronger, quieter, more durable, and more efficient than ever.
Will not
it's
sound
a true
like a
standout
V8.
in the industry, and we believe it redefines what this engine is all about.
Today.
All right, we'll just unpack that a little bit right there for what that engine. So, once again, this is sort of getting a little technical. What they've done is they've taken some of the technology from the diesel engines, which are always turbocharged nowadays. They weren't a long time ago, but they've been turbocharged forever. And they've taken the strengthening of that technology to put into this engine, it sounds like, to help it stay strong and
stabilize.
And not be compromised by boost.
To be able to handle the additional power they've put into this thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's actually a really good touch point that they put in there. For folks like myself that are mechanically inclined, it is a good touch point. Now, they very high leveled it, so you don't know exactly what they're doing other than they took some of the diesel technology. But that is a good thing, and it will definitely help that engine hold up to pressure. So it's a good thing.
We're one step closer in our pursuit of offering every customer a truck with the look, features, and price point they need.
On the outside, Silverado has a fresh look that emphasizes the truck stance. Inside is an exciting new interior that feels roomier and more premium, with larger screens and new materials. New, intuitive, easy-to-use technologies provide an outstanding user experience. A significantly upgraded 2.7-liter turbo engine features best-in-class.
They are proud of that engine, aren't they?
And the ZR2, our new flagship lifted truck, offers a unique balance of off-road guts and on-road manners.
And we're so excited to share the new 2022 Silverado with our customers. We know they're going to love it just as much as we do.
All right. Stuff there. So what are your overall thoughts?
So it's a really good truck. I'm hoping that they have a better availability of the diesel engines. in this this iteration of the truck. Really, really, really like the accessibility for the interior redesign for everyone to be able to get their hands on that for the most part.
That to me is one of the biggest wins from this video that I'm seeing, the interior upgrade, which was very needed. If y'all have seen the other interior and you've been waiting for this one, I'm sure like myself or him, it's a very pleasant change. It basically it was good. It was a win, and it was fantastic. It looks phenomenal.
You were never able to find anything even resembling this outside of the Denali Lariat High Country.
Well, even the Denali, really, you're talking about maybe because the Ford was just redesigned, the high level Fords, and then the Dodge.
Not so much the infotainment system, although that is probably the biggest change here. Yeah. I just mean like the entire feel of the inside is being premium, luxury. Yes. You know, feels like you have just paid $50,000 for a hunk of metal.
Yeah, no, now from that standpoint, it looks like the LT is getting a major quality upgrade to try to beat Dodge and Ford. Yes, now that material-wise, I thought you meant more like infotainment. So
no, like we were talking, there really just hasn't been that really anywhere, unless you're talking a top of the line limited edition type vehicle. Yeah. And even then, the options just haven't been there across the 3-4 major domestic manufacturers.
Yeah. Well, and the Toyota Tundra is about to come out, basically. It's about to be fully released and redesigned here, I think in like tomorrow or something like that it comes out. It's very shortly. I don't know when this video is going to post, but
today is the 18th of September.
Yeah, so it's supposed to come out, I think, on the 19th. So it should be interesting to see what they have and what they come out with. They're really going to have to step up now seeing this. So it also... Dodge's interior, I've been in it before. It is very nice. I'm curious to see touching how this one will feel in comparison to Dodge's. I think functionality-wise, as being a truck, I do think this GM truck has Dodge, especially from an engine selection. I mean, basically Dodge, you have a diesel and you have the 5.7. And you have some e-torque stuff with some battery power, things of that nature added on, but you're getting 5 engine options with this, and that's fantastic. So I do think GM missed one big thing on this, and that is, I know that it sounds like based off of what they're trying to do, this truck is more going after rock crawling, and the technical trail aspect is not going for high speed. I really think they missed the boat not throwing a much bigger engine into this truck, like the TRX, which is 707 horsepower, or the Ford Raptor, which is basically 450 and 500 and something, in torque. And the Ford is supposed to be coming with, I think, one that's supposed to be 765 horsepower, it's rumored. GM's not offering that.
Maybe it was just too much of a concession for them to make that, especially, supply issues across the world for different parts. Yeah. All the R&D that would have to go into it.
The only thing I can think of is that the structure of the truck, the engine bay, couldn't hold the engine from a standpoint of physically it doesn't fit.
I just don't know if they're targeting that market.
I still think it's a miss, though. I really think they should have done it, but they didn't. I get what they're going after, and this truck is going to sell. That's not going to be an issue. But offering that's something to say. And I mean, they didn't even have to go for over 700 horsepower. Offering there's an engine that's in the Camaro, that's in some of the high-power Cadillacs, that's 650 horsepower and 650 foot-pounds of torque.
I wonder if fuel efficiency was a consideration there.
Yeah, but Dodge and Ford both have one, and their fuel efficiency is through the floor. I mean, the TRX is garbage.
I think those companies have a much more accessible base model of truck to give someone an alternative, and I don't think there's as low level of an alternative just from what we've seen from this release. Everything seems to be mid-tier or higher.
Yeah, now if you mean, I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying, so you can't get a price point that this truck will probably be at, which I don't know. I doubt this one has been released yet, the price. The price point of this truck probably will be in the high 40s to 50-ish range, if we had to guess.
Yeah.
Based off of what we have on the outgoing model. Whereas the Raptor is much more expensive. The TRX can be over $100,000.
Exactly.
So yeah, now from that standpoint, yes, they are going to get somebody who's like, is it worth twice as much to get a TRX for 707 horsepower? And it's going to depend on the person, but yes, you're right. Yeah, if I was going on a trail, I have a hard time explaining why I'm about to double my price for a truck.
Yeah.
So that is a good point.
Well, I think my biggest takeaway from this is two-pronged. First prong, I'm very likely to purchase a Silverado when it comes to that time. But also kind of on the back end of that statement, I'm very interested to see what GMC does with the Sierra and Denali. And not just to see what they do with it, but to see what differences they put in them to differentiate from the Silverado.
Yeah, because the Sierra was the first to come out with the multi-pro tailgate. The tailgate, now that this is obviously advertising. I am curious to see what the Sierra is going to, look like. In my opinion, the Sierra, especially the Denali, in my opinion, is a more masculine, like, bulk, strong-looking, and better-looking truck. And a lot of people vote that is the best-looking truck on the market, and y'all can go fight over it in the comments section. That's based off of some surveys I've read.
I don't think that's a very difficult contest to win right now, because I don't think the F-150 looks good at all. And I think this is the middle range. I don't think it looks bad. I don't think it looks good.
Yeah.
I think the F-150 looks bad, and I'm a Ford guy. That thing looks awful. I wouldn't buy it if it was given to me.
Don't roast them too badly, folks.
Roast me, please. Drop comments and likes and get us higher going, please.
Please.
I'm here to create controversy. Controversy converts to clicks, baby.
Overall, I would summarize it. As this is a very big win for GM. They have obviously listened to what people were talking about, and I guess they feel that it's too competitive at that higher end, and maybe, as you said, for the ZR2 to be big engined or have a much bigger engine, and they're going for the more technical, I want to climb on a trail, or I'm not doing 75 miles an hour across the freaking sand. Also, let's be honest, how many folks are actually using a Raptor or a TRX for what it was built for? There's not a large portion of them.
Most of those folks are parking in a parking lot of a bank to go to work.
Yeah, at least around where we live. I can tell you that much right now. But this probably, for a large majority of people that are going 10 miles an hour at most on a trail, this thing is probably fantastic. So I'm hoping maybe they'll offer a diesel engine to the ZR2. I bet there's a lot of people that want the torque out of that thing. Low, grunt. Yeah, that would be great. I really hope that's going to be an engine option, but they didn't talk about it here. So
to be able to get through a 15, 16-minute video like this, and my only real, I guess, negative takeaway is maybe it's not that cosmetically beautiful on the outside. I mean, I think that's a home run for Chevy. That's the only thing you can come back to. If I can't argue against your architecture, your science, your research and development, your technology on the inside, your features on the outside, only thing I can say is, man, all the chrome on the front
is a little too chromy.
Either looks good or looks bad because you use too much or too little. Okay, well, what's my argument against the truck really at that point? I sit inside of it.
Yeah, and it's a good point. So, yeah, and I mean, just so you all know, he is fairly critical of this. I'm a little more level-minded, but I don't disagree with him. After all of this and listening to it, I think that they missed the boat in a few places here and there, but it is a big win.
So, I wouldn't even call me critical. It's just there's so much stuff that they're unveiling for the first time. I think we need to just make sure that we are
level-headed,
easing into it, understanding that there are potential risks for buying technology that is brand new. Talk about the lady who bought the Samsung, the first Samsung Fold, and it blew up in her pocketbook.
I didn't know about that.
Look great on paper. Not so great when you're in the checkout line and, Molotov cocktail pops out of your purse. So, I just, ease into it. I would say wait to see kind of what some of the testers think of it, because they'll get those before they release.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's already people that are testing it. There's probably just an embargo on the actual physical review.
Yeah, releasing the content.
Yeah, exactly, of how it drives. So, I'm curious to see what those people say about it, and maybe we can hopefully get our hands on one and actually review one.
I want to hear what everyone out there thinks about this, what the positives, negatives, how much I was wrong, how much he was wrong, how I'm an idiot, how he's an idiot, and just, what do you think that we're not paying attention to here? What are some of the hidden facts behind this video? they're of course not going to put anything negative.
Yeah, and there could also be some that we just didn't talk about that we already knew and just didn't have time to talk about here. So,
absolutely.
Let us know down below, really. If you like this video, please let us know. Give us some feedback. There's something else you want us to talk about, because, like I said, I have a pretty large knowledge because of some of my friend base and growing up in this, basically, with these vehicles. So if you want to know more, let us know. But anyway, well, if y'all want to see more music videos and more videos like this, hit the subscribe bell or button and hit that notification bell and hit the like button. Hopefully y'all did like the video and it was informative. But anyway, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.